Hello and welcome to another video. What day is it today? It is Saturday, June 21st, 2025. Still in the lather games. The challenge for the day is to use a soap that has only one advertised, marketed, I should say, scent note. So today I'm using Barrister and Mann Sandalwood. To my knowledge, there's only one. The Sandalwood Accord is the only one that was marketed for this soap, and that the only other thing I know about it is that it was developed for use in Fougère Gothique. So I'm taking my chances with this today. Not that I particularly care whether I get a point or not, but you know, I'm trying to play along. The other thing that is the daily challenge. So this is the theme challenge for the day. The daily challenge is to time your lathering process. The idea is to do a speed lather. I'm not really going to do a speed lather. I think my general lathering procedure is reasonably fast. So I have a timer set out so I can time myself. So I'm going to wet my face first. That's not part of the, I'm going to say that that's not part of the lathering process. They didn't really define the steps that they want timed. So my suspicion is that to even between bowl latherers and face latherers, that they don't want you to include the time that it takes to develop the lather, or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm going to time. I'm going to start timing when I start loading. This is a Wald brush, by the way, and I'll show you the razor in a minute. So I'm going to time from the point that I start into the tub until I end on my end on a lather that's good enough for me on the face. So I'm starting the timer now. Now, Eric and others in the group have said that, you know, you need to swirl in the tub in both directions. And this is not true. What you should do in the northern hemisphere is follow the direction of the Coriolis effect, and in the southern hemisphere do the same. Now the Coriolis effect is counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, clockwise in the southern hemisphere. And what do you do with the equator? This is a real problem. If you live on the equator and you really can't be a wet shaver, so you're just excluded from swirling a brush. If you are on the equator, you'll have to find some other method. So I guess you can be a wet shaver, but you know, you gotta find a way that doesn't obey the Coriolis effect, because frankly, you know, it's, in theory, it's zero on the equator. Okay, I'm going to call that good. 1 minute and 24 seconds, we'll call that. I think I should get extra points for talking while doing this. What do you think? Now, what kind of lather was that? That's what I call a modified slurry lather, invented by Sugar Daddy Shaves. It's modified because I actually load more with less water than he does, and then you probably noticed that I added water later. At least I hope you did. I did a dip of the brush and then an add of water. So I'm using, for the razor today, oh, I'm supposed to take a photo. So I'm going to pause the video at this point, take a photo of my mug, so I'll take a mug shot, and then I'll get back and start shaving. All right, so we're back. I now have a mug shot taken. The razor for today is a double duck. This is a 6/8, as you can see, it's round point. This particular one is in very, very good shape. On a lot of these, the scales, these are celluloid scales. Over time, they release, I think it's a nitrogen oxide of some sort. Anyway, they become kind of noodly. These are still pretty stiff and still in pretty good shape for whatever reason. But that's the razor for today. So let's get going with our lather. The Barrister and Mann Sandalwood is kind of a very woody sandalwood. I know that sounds ridiculous, but a lot of the others that you come across are generally they have a kind of a lighter key feel to the scent. You know, they feel maybe a little more cologne-y, you know, a little more like an actual fragrance. Not that this isn't, but it has a dryness to it, and you know, it kind of feels like you're really smelling a piece of wood. I'm a fan of sandalwood, so I would contrast this to something like the Traditionalist from Zingari Man, which is very, very nice, but is sweeter somehow, lighter. And just different. Less like a wood and more like a fragrance that has a strong sandalwood component. I don't remember what I sharpened this razor with, but it feels very much like a cauticule edge. If I think of it, I will look it up and put it in the description. I watched a honing live stream of Eric's earlier today, That was very enjoyable. He is really a master in honing, and his continuously growing knowledge of stones is very, very impressive. And we have others in the group who are similar to that. I mean, JPO over in Norway has started explaining what he's doing and talking about his stones, which I really appreciate. But his knowledge is really, really deep on honing. And I'm going to call out Sean Staplefeld, who's really only been in this a short period of time, but he is really putting in his time. And it's noticeable to someone like me who has put in his time. And you know, that's really what we do when we're sharpening and honing is pretty simple. I probably say that all the time, but it really is. But there's lots of little nuances that you learn through doing, and I'm still of the opinion that anybody can learn to do this. The more attention you pay, the better you probably will be at it. And you don't need a ton of stone. You know, you don't need all these stones that we play with. It's just once you become reasonably proficient with a straight razor, though, it's fun to try different edges. Some are going to appeal to you more than others, perhaps. Or, like me, you may find you enjoy the differences in personality between the different types of edges. So even though I have very expensive, very high quality J-nets, I don't mind using synthetic edges, and I don't mind using cauticule edges or slate edges, shale. It doesn't really. I'm just interested in the differences in the feel. For me, in terms of shave result, if I do the honing correctly, I'm going to get a close shave no matter what I use. So the real experience for me is just the differences. You know, it's a close shave. That's a given. I hope, if the edge is done right, it is a given. But it's just nice. It's fun to play around. Another thing that I've noticed, at least within our little group, people are trying other people's edges. Recently, Eric tried one of mine. I know Sean has tried one of mine. I have used edges from both of theirs. Not surprisingly, they both create great shaving edges. And I could detect differences from my own edges, and that's not a better or worse thing. It's a personality thing. I very much enjoyed the opportunity to shave with their edges. And you know, it's part of the hobby, especially now that we can share the hobby over the internet. A lot of fun. Now, something that I can do that maybe some others can't is to actually show you what your edge looks like at very high magnification. And I'll just tell you right now that both Eric's and Sean's edges under high magnification look just like mine do. Very, very well. I won't compliment myself, but theirs were very, very well formed. And I know from people having me sent razors in the past, I've had other professional honers send me edges in the past to look at, and it's a curiosity. And the results are always the same. If I see something that you couldn't see without high magnification, and something, I'll tell you about it. I'll also tell you whether it matters or not. Because lots of things seen at very, very high magnification don't really affect the shaving, the overall shaving. Well, here I am talking while I should be cleaning up. Apologize for that. I'll pause, clean up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The brush for today was a Wald. This one's a Goldvein. I don't remember the handle style at the moment, but today, every day of the Lather games, they highlight one of the sponsors, manufacturer sponsors that we have. We have quite a few of them. Anyway, Yannick Wald is one of the sponsors of the Lather games, and they highlighted him in today's write-up, and I try to use a product by one of the sponsors on the day that they're highlighted. So that's why I'm using a Wald brush. Of course, I have a number of these and I like using them. I might have used it anyway. Also, especially because, you know, for the thumbnail photo, it goes well with the color scheme of sandalwood. All right, so we're going to use. I did while I paused. I put on cucumber, Thayers cucumber toner, and I'm going to use sandalwood aftershave. Very nice shave, wonderful scent. And finally, better cap this off. Finally, I'm going to use some talc. It's about 95 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which is cool in Louisiana terms, or the you know, Arizona terms or Las Vegas terms, but here with the humidity, that's really, really hot. So I'm going to keep the face dry using a little bit of talc. That was what I showed you was Yardley Classic. The scent of Yardley Classic goes, which is very mild and dissipates quickly, but it is very, very nice with the sandalwood. that's always a bit of a surprise to me how the talc and whatever fragrance I've used mixes. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's been a bit of a rambling one, but I'm going to be doing some honing later this afternoon, and we'll make a video or a live, I'm not sure which. So hopefully you'll show up for that. If not, I'll see you in the next shave. Thank you.